Hey, put that back. No eating until we get to White Castle. Yo, let's roll.
White Castle may be popular with Harold and Kumar, but the rest of America, maybe not so much. Here are the 10 reasons why White Castle isn't a fast food giant. There aren't enough choices at White Castle. There's no denying that White Castle has a niche audience, but it's simply not popular with most fast food fans. It's never going to be as big as McDonald's, Burger King, or Wendy's because those chains have much more extensive menus. More importantly, Burger King and Wendy's serve up massive burgers, like the BK Quad Stacker and Dave's Triple. When it comes to burgers at White Castle, your only options are sliders. The tiny burgers are tasty, but most people have to order at least 5 of them to be satisfied.
Always wanting more. More!
White Castle offers up to 12 different kinds of sliders, including the 1921 slider and the cheese slider. That may seem like a lot of choices, but keep in mind that in the United States, Burger King has at least 30 sandwiches on its menu at all times, and that's not even including the secret menu. If White Castle ever hopes to be top dog in the burger world, it's gonna have to create a burger that can compete with the Big Mac. Even 6 double cheese sliders aren't gonna satisfy your hunger quite like a double quarter pounder. White Castle's breakfast menu is too limited.
Just waiting for my breakfast. Lewis!
White Castle's breakfast menu has a surprising number of choices compared to the breakfast offerings at McDonald's. Mickey D's offers over 20 breakfast sandwiches, while White Castle only has 5. The Egg McMuffin is the undisputed champion of breakfast fast food sandwiches. Warren Buffett apparently eats one every day.
Wow, that good, huh?
White Castle's Belgian waffle slider, on the other hand, is a true underdog. It's simply never going to be as popular as the Egg McMuffin, no matter how good it tastes. But we must give credit where credit is due, and you can customize your breakfast slider at White Castle. Some folks enjoy sausage on their breakfast slider, while others go for the hickory smoked bacon. If you like to spice things up, try the jalapeno smoked cheddar cheese. If you're a weakling when it comes to the Scoville scale, you can opt for a good old-fashioned American cheese. White Castle is a family business.
They're a family-owned business. Jim and I used to clean up at those. We'd go in pretending to be family.
White Castle is actually older than Burger King and McDonald's. It dates all the way back to 1921, when Babe Ruth was hitting homers left and right for the Yankees. Thanks to keen businessman Ray Kroc, McDonald's quickly grew from a tiny fast food joint run by 2 brothers to a massive company and the world's most successful burger joint. The White Castle story is much different. Unlike McDonald's, the expansion of White Castle across the U.S. has been slow and steady.
We are getting there, folks. Slow and steady.
Today, it's still very much a family business. White Castle CEO Lisa Ingram runs the company pretty much the same way her great-granddad ran the company 100 years ago. The day-to-day business operations are virtually unchanged, and massive expansion is off the table. Ingram says that White Castle's current business model isn't going to change anytime soon. And why should it? White Castle doesn't have to compete with McDonald's to be successful. White Castle's annual revenue is climbing at a modest pace. In 2018, it was up 1.8% year over year. That may not be tremendous growth, but it is consistent. If White Castle expanded as fast as McDonald's did, the company could have failed. More risk means a higher chance of bankruptcy. White Castle played it safe, and it worked. White Castle doesn't franchise.
Franchise, franchise, franchise.
White Castle refuses to franchise, and today there are still only 373 White Castle locations across 13 states. Unless White Castle has a presence in every state like McDonald's, it's never going to be able to compete.
Ever, never.
Because of franchising, there's a Subway and a McDonald's on just about every street corner. But the White Castle Board of Directors has put its collective foot down. Franchising is not in the cards for White Castle, at least for now. White Castle CEO Lisa Ingram believes that by franchising, the company would lose control, and that's not something she wants to happen. If you were hoping to open your own White Castle, you're going to have to keep dreaming. If you want to be a franchise owner, may we suggest Chick-fil-A. You reportedly only need $10,000 to open one. White Castle may be against franchising, but that doesn't mean that expansion is off the table altogether. Until recently, White Castle operated almost exclusively in the Midwest and on the East Coast. However, White Castle recently expanded into Arizona, Florida, and Nevada. White Castle is doing quite well in Las Vegas, alongside heavyweights like Shake Shack and In-N-Out. The Vegas White Castles are operated through a licensing agreement. It's sort of like franchising, but the White Castle Corporation maintains all the control. control. You're likely going to see White Castle continue to expand through the US at a steady pace in the years to come. White Castle is currently on the lookout for land in middle-income neighborhoods to expand its operations. White Castle also wants to rent land from convenience store owners to build more White Castle locations. However, these White Castles would not be franchises. White Castle is loyal to its customers.
First time for you? First time?
Yes.
All right!
White Castle has a stellar reputation when it comes to customer service. That's one of the benefits of running a smaller business. The King and Ronald McDonald don't really care if you stop eating at their restaurants. McDonald's and Burger King can replace you in a heartbeat. McDonald's bottom line isn't going to be affected one bit if you stop eating your weekly Big Mac. White Castle doesn't have that luxury. They need every customer they can get. White Castle has implemented numerous customer loyalty perks over the years, and many of them have been successful. Last year, White Castle offered customers a 20% discount on all orders placed through the White Castle app. The limited time offer resulted in a 215% increase in app downloads and extremely positive word of mouth. Do you think McDonald's would ever offer a discount like that?
Yeah, that's what you wish, Steve.
Mickey D's is pretty stingy when it comes to deals. You'll be lucky to get an extra McNugget. However, you don't get to be a fast food giant by giving away free food. The discounts at White Castle might be preventing the chain from reaching the heights that McDonald's has reached. The food is extremely unhealthy.
Hey, is that healthy food?
White Castle is one of the unhealthiest fast food restaurants out there. What else would you expect from processed white bread and greasy beef? Then there's the Cherry Coke. It has a lot more calories than diet soda. An original White Castle slider has about 140 calories. That might not seem like a lot, but keep in mind, the sliders are tiny. An original slider combo comes with 4 sliders, so you're looking at 560 calories for the burgers alone. Those tasty crinkle-cut fries, even more calorie dense. A small order of fries has just 330 calories, but if you upsize your fries to a medium, you're looking at a whopping 600 calories. You might want to stick with something healthy to wash it all down. Diet soda and water are calorie-free, but if you're craving a chocolate shake, you're gonna have to hit the gym the next day. Chocolate shakes at White Castle are between 950 and 1,200 calories. Why the discrepancy, you might ask? Well, the calorie counts of the shakes vary from region to region. In New Jersey, a large chocolate shake has just over 1,000 calories, but in Cincinnati, a large chocolate shake has a whopping 1,200 calories. The ingredients are slightly different across the US, so calorie counts vary from city to city. In New York and New Jersey, the White Castle Original Slider has 150 calories, 10 more calories than the sliders at all other White Castle locations. So keep that in mind the next time you visit the White Castle in Midtown Manhattan. You'll have to walk a few extra blocks to burn off the extra calories.
I need to eat 10,000 calories a day to maintain muscle mass.
You would think that White Castle would be focused on adding some healthy items to its menu, but so far, that hasn't happened. You can't order a salad or a wrap at White Castle. You're stuck with sodium-rich sliders and sugar-filled shakes. Here's another terrifying fact. If you buy a pack of frozen White Castle sliders at a supermarket in California, you'll probably notice a warning label stating, "Consuming this product can expose you to furfuryl alcohol, which is known to California to cause cancer." Yikes. White Castle has almost no international presence.
Try 0000000.
There are no McDonald's in Russia or North Korea, but you can find a Mickey D's in just about every developed country in the world. For White Castle to become a fast food giant, the chain has to expand its international presence. So far, White Castle has been slow to expand outside of the US. There aren't even any White Castle restaurants in Canada. Sure, Canucks can buy frozen White Castle sliders at Walmart, but it's just not the same. White Castle has just 2 international locations, and they're both in bustling Shanghai, China. The Chinese White Castle locations are operated through a partnership with equity firm Clearview Partners, and so far, White Castle has found great success in the Chinese city. Since opening in 2017, the Shanghai locations have received rave reviews from locals. If you're visiting Shanghai, why not stop by a White Castle and try a cherry duck slider or a spicy tofu slider? These exclusive sliders are only available in China.
I have to go to China. Yes.
In America, you'll have to settle for a 1921 slider or an original slider. White Castle has tried to open other international markets in the past, but all attempts so far have been failures. The White Castle restaurants in Mexico, Japan, South Korea, Singapore, and Malaysia were all short-lived. White Castle has a racist past.
I not use the N-word.
Oh, the other N-word. No,
Today, White Castle champions diversity and equality. The restaurant chain is an equal opportunity employer and regularly supports Pride events. However, this wasn't always the case. White Castle actually had a racist past, and it's something that haunts the burger chain to this day.
I'm very disappointed in you.
For decades, White Castle was criticized for not hiring black workers. In his book, Selling 'Em by the Sack, David Hogan wrote that despite the constant labor shortage, White Castle never tapped the abundant supply of available African-American workers, with the exception of one cleaning woman hired during World War II. In the 1960s, many White Castle restaurants were located in urban centers with large black populations. White Castle's hiring policies resulted in a boycott in 1963 in New York, and soon after, the company began working to fix its image. White Castle re-examined its hiring policies and started recruiting more African-American workers. White Castle was also slow to hire women. Beginning in the 1920s and until World War II, White Castle only hired young men. White Castle hired a corporate hostess in the 1930s, but no women worked in the restaurants. Even during the war, when most men were serving overseas, White Castle was still reluctant to hire women. It took quite a while before White Castle reversed its 2-decade-long ban on hiring women. White Castle's Impossible Slider has terrible reviews.
2 thumbs down.
White Castle's healthy options are few and far between, but the chain did release an Impossible Slider to cater to vegetarians and flexitarians.
I'm a vegan, of course. Slowly working towards full freaking vegan.
Unfortunately, the Impossible Slider has so far been a mixed bag. When the Impossible Slider debuted in 2018, White Castle fans were hyped. Social media buzz was at an all-time high, and some White Castle locations were selling as many as 300 Impossible Sliders a day. Many foodies were pleased with the faux beef slider. The initial reaction was stellar, but some food journalists were far from impressed. According to Peter Genovese of NJ.com, White Castle's Impossible Slider might just be the worst burger ever, saying he'd rather put real plants, maybe fistfuls of dandelions, on this bun than eat White Castle's engineered concoction. One TripAdvisor reviewer said the Impossible Slider he ate in St. Paul, Minnesota had a strange flavor and a gritty texture. That certainly doesn't sound appetizing. Is the Impossible Slider truly as bad as some say? You'll have to judge for yourself. At $1.99, the Impossible Slider isn't cheap either. That's a hefty price to pay for fake meat. With inflation running rampant, most White Castle patrons would prefer a 72-cent original slider. Even the double slider costs less at $1.42. If White Castle wants to compete with Burger King, it's gonna have to do a better job catering to vegans. The Impossible Whopper is a bona fide hit, and most foodies can't tell the difference between a beef Whopper and the Impossible Whopper. White Castle doesn't have a famous mascot.
Honk once if you love chicken, honk twice if you love the Lord.
McDonald's has Ronald McDonald, Burger King has The King, and Jack in the Box always has the hilarious Jack Box. But who does White Castle have? Occasionally, employees will dress up as sliders, and White Castle recently had a short-lived CGI egg mascot called Humpty D. The restaurant doesn't have an iconic spokesperson like the big burger joints. Mascots can do wonders for a restaurant chain's bottom line. Would Wendy's be as big as it is today if Dave Thomas hadn't named the restaurant after his daughter? Probably not. The truth is, White Castle needs an iconic mascot. The restaurants are cleverly designed to look like mini White Castles, so perhaps White Castle should come up with some sort of royal-themed mascot. Burger King already has the king, so maybe a knight would be a good idea.
Sounds sweet.
Until White Castle has a famous mascot, it's never going to be a fast food giant.
It is what it is.
Thanks for watching right to the end. You're the best, and the best deserves more. So check out more great videos.